The first brand I want to go over is Dude Wipes. Now, they make the absolute best emails as far as relatability goes. In case you don't know, Dude Wipes, they essentially make wipes for dudes to go when you go to the bathroom, and they have a bunch of different like scents and whatnot. But the point is, they depend on you taking the most crazy, down bad poops on earth. So what they do is in their emails, which I think is a phenomenal strategy, and I think you could take inspiration for your own brand, is they make every single email related to either a holiday, a season with their own products. So what do I mean by that? If you want to go to keep your end zone clean, so this is around football season. It's January 20th, so I think next month, or no, this or next month, I don't know exactly. The Super Bowl, but soon it's going to be the Super Bowl. A lot of football games coming up. What they did is keep your end zone clean, and then they just went into the make sure you clean your end zone, obviously your butt, before you settle in the wild card weekend. The playoffs are messy, but obviously with the double T, you don't have to be. Whether it's chicken wing carnage, over enthusiastic touchdown celebrations, or wiping away the tears after your parlay doesn't hit, Dude Wipes are the real MVP. So what they're doing is they're making relevant events that you, me, people who are actually their customers have probably know of. They celebrate related to their brand. In that case, it was football season. If you want to go to something like the Christmas season, it's no gift left behind. Holiday parties are fun. Having to drop a Yule log into a stranger's bathroom is not. Everybody knows that, right? If you're in a Christmas party and you're eating a bunch of food and you got to take a poop, it's massive, and you want to make sure that you're covered, right? That the bathroom doesn't smell, that your butt is clean, etc., etc. Here are a few simple rules to keep things normal and avoid becoming the story of the night. Relatability. Everybody knows what this feels like, right? You're with somebody, you're in a party, you're with a family member, and then you're using their bathroom and you're cooked, right? You just got to throw the absolute worst poop in the world. They give tips to make sure that that's avoided. And at the end, do your part so the bathroom stays merry and bright for everybody. And it's like, well, man, if I'm going to have my own, if I'm going to have a Christmas party in my house, I want to make sure that, people have Dude Wipes to make sure that they don't leave a crazy mess or anything like that. Next brand we're going to go over is Dr. Squatch. Now, here's the unique thing about Dr. Squatch. In a lot of the other brands I'm going to go over, one of the biggest things they have to rely on is giving value to their customers. So giving valuetainment, think of like recipes, how-to guides, how to do certain routines, fun facts, quizzes, riddles, etc., etc. Brands like Dr. Squatch or any brand that's that big doesn't really have to do that. What they rely on, and here's where you could take inspiration from for your own brand, is relying on building a universe around the brand. Now, I'm not going to sound too woo-woo with this. I'll let you know exactly what I mean. For Dr. Squatch, they had the advantage of partnering with brands like Stranger Things. So what they do is instead of giving like 5 fun facts of how to keep your hygiene better, they just show off the products because that's all they have to do. McDonald's is the same thing. I made another email on them. But for Dr. Squatch, all they're doing is just promoting the products, right? Step into the upside down world, or step into the upside down, discover all new scents from the Stranger Things collection. And then they just show what the product is, a little description of what it smells like in this case. So smells like the upside down, note scents, crisp, juniper, berry, blood orange, and dark amber, and they go into every single product that they have for Stranger Things. But the point is, the biggest thing you could take inspiration from their brand is creating a universe around it. Another example is if you scroll a little bit further down, you're going to notice that they also paired up with Harry Potter. So what they did is instead of giving fun facts, they just said, hey, we got a Harry Potter collab. Buy. That's all they got to do because that is their greatest advantage. We have thousands of millions of Harry Potter fans. When they see that Dr. Squatch made a collab, they're going to buy. You don't need to do much convincing. Same thing with, Elf, right? With Elf, instead of giving, little brain quizzes or anything that for Christmas season, all they did is just, hey, we got an Elf collab. Buy limited edition Nitty Scrubbins, and then they show the product and what it smells like, marshmallow root extract, peppermint oil, essentials oil, etc., etc. Smell like an elf's breakfast, showing the 3-pack, showing a bundle, and promoting it. Now, of course, you're going to have the normal emails that are, like ready for your pre-sale, and then it makes it more fun, more engaging. Like in this example, don't miss the drop, sign up to your emails, and then, the sale before the sale. So 8 a.m., 8:05 a.m., 8:10. It's a fun little, thing you could do with your emails. But the biggest point is that they just build a universe around the brand. So what can you take from Dr. Squatch? Build a universe around your brand, whether it be collaborations you made with other partners, maybe other brands you collaborated with, or even, simple things you've made in your social media, right? Promote the social media. Make sure that people understand this isn't just like a normal brand. It has a personality to it. There are people behind the brand that make it work. So that's what you could take from Dr. Squatch. On the other side of the scale, we have Magic Spoon, which what they do is mainly give valuetainment emails. Now, they do it more in kind of fun things like riddles and game quizzes and kind of fun facts, which is great, nothing against that. But this is a very simple thing that you could do as well. If you know, hey, maybe I don't have so many collaborations, or I'm just a new brand, or et cetera, et cetera. Magic Spoon, they're a huge brand, but they still do this. They still give value, whether it be making it fun, engaging, quizzes, et cetera, in their emails. So let's go through a few examples. Number one, 5-star crunch straight from the Spooners. If you go to this email, all they're doing is just showing some of the reviews, right? Best granola I had, showing the product. Great snack, with a real review. Oh my goodness, so delicious, with a real person's name. This is a great example of a testimonial review-based email where you show the actual real reviews that your brand has had. Another example, if you go here, it's flavor bingo. What does that mean? If you click on the email, hey, it's flavor bingo. How many of the flavors have you tried? This is a very good email that you could make if you have a lot of SKUs or a lot of different products. You could just show in kind of like a bingo format. Hey, have you not tried any of our other products? Here are all our products laid out. Click on the one that you want the most. And then people could look at it. They're like, oh man, I didn't know they had, cacao flavored Magic Spoon. I didn't know they had chocolate chip cookie. I didn't know they had blueberry muffin. Man, I really want blueberry muffin. They click on it and they get directed to either a bundle or the product itself. Another great valuetainment email you can make. Another valuetainment email they made is it's chocolate milk day, right? Seasonality, holidays. Think, is it wellness day? Is it chocolate milk day? Is it best friends day? Is it National Dog Day? Anything like that? Because those are real holidays, by the way. Like, they're legit. You could search them up. But when you match any type of holiday with your emails, and it does a lot better. You have a reason to send out an email, number one. And number two, it's fun, right? It's chocolate milk day. We're celebrating this day with something special. Get a free box of cacao cereal. Cacao cereal with orders above $65, and then they show the products, they show the cereals, free cacao here, and then people click on the email and they buy. But the point of it is this one's a seasonal email, right? It has to do with the season. Another great brand I like to take inspiration from as far as emails go is Brez. Now, why do I like Brez? Well, let's go to the first one, or technically the third one. The cool thing about Brez is that, number one, they have beautiful emails, right? A nice little transition, having information. But what they do is kind of a pair of valuetainment with matching it with the person's while making it relatable. What they did in this email and what they do in many emails is they match something that they know their customers will love, right? In this case, they sell Brez. A lot of people want to know how to make recipes, mocktails, et cetera. They match the relatability aspect to it, right? What do people want from our brand? What do people, usually do with our products? And they match it with giving real value. So here, they literally just give a real description of, here's how to make a spicy blood orange margarita using Brez. And they show what you need, obviously promoting Brez without being too pushy, how to make it. So now they're just showing how to actually make the product, experience it, and then a nice little footer and GIF. Very, very easy email to do. And they do a bunch of emails like this. Another example is 2025 recap. If you click on this email, they're recapping 2025. And it's a great email for social proof. So if you scroll down, they say, hey, for 2025, we, over 12.9 million cans were sold. We went over 6,500 locations. We had over 50 million social media views, et cetera, et cetera. So what they do really, really well is giving real content that is relatable while also pairing it with something that's actually valuable for their customers. Another great example is pairing their products with a specific need. So sobering moments aren't about stopping, they're about noticing. Oh, what does that mean? You could read the copy, but they're essentially saying how to actually sober up, which is like not drink alcohol, et cetera, while using their product. So if you want clarity and momentum, get this product. If you want to rest when the day winds down, get this product. And they have a bunch of emails like that. Another great brand I like to take inspiration from is Gruns. So one of the first ones is 8 a.m.s are hard, Gruns is easy. Everybody knows that, okay, man, I got to wake up at 8 a.m. It's annoying. Obviously, I want to stay in. Well, if you get Gruns, it fits in your backpack and your life. And it shows that the nutrients your body needs to survive, 8 a.m. lectures, 2 a.m. study sessions, frat basements, and dorm bathrooms. Again, kind of that relatability. They know people use Gruns for that. The dining hall could never. They pair it up with their product. So if you eat Gruns, it's going to give you the right nutrients, whether you be in lectures or in study basements, frat basements, study sessions, et cetera, et cetera. And they have a little nice infographic. Hey, did you take your Gruns today? Taking it now, obviously from mom. And this is a great email. They're pairing up with the kind of back to school season. If this isn't back to school, yeah, this is August 8th, so this was definitely back to school. Something small I wanted to point out as well is if you're at any point like kind of overwhelmed, like, man, I have to make so many different designs. I got to make like the coolest, newest thing. Gruns has a very basic template. As you're seeing, most of the emails are just the logo, headline, subheadline, CTA, and an image. That's it. Look at all these emails. They're the same. You might have the occasional one that breaks out, that looks a little bit different, but generally speaking, they're about the same. Another brand I love to take inspiration from as well is Alice. Now, what's the cool thing about Alice? What Alice does really, really well is making the brand not necessarily feel more like a brand, but having a personality and a person and team around it. So in most emails, you're promoting the product, you're showing the different features and benefits of it, maybe you're giving valuetainment, but people don't see people, right? They don't see people within your team. They don't see people actually holding the product. They send out a lot of text-based emails. Now, the reason text-based emails are great are two reasons. I'm going to show you why in a second. Number one, it feels a lot more personal. So opposed to a design, which is, good, and it's the majority of the emails we send out on behalf of our brands, every so often we like to throw a text-based email that says like, hey, it's coming from the founder. I just wanted to let you know. Here's a little update about the brand. Here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a drop, or I just wanted to say hi. And it's kind of like a check-in from the founder. That way, when people see it, they're like, oh, this is a real message that the founder actually sent me, or at the very least, it feels like that more. The second good thing about it is that not only does it feel more personal, but if you add images to it, it makes it stand out opposed to all the other competitors you have. Because why? If your competitors and you only just send out products and just showing the product without showing a face behind it, like the founder, CMO, et cetera, if you show the founder or people in the team going out there, going to trade shows, showing off the product, maybe, being in the factory. In this case, they're at, I'm guessing they're delivering Alice to maybe friends or family. They're showing, okay, this is a real brand. There are people behind it. There are people actually using the product. So it works two ways, not only social proof, but making your brand stand out more than the competitors that only show their products. Now, they do a lot of these things. I saw this one as well. I love the way they did it. They put somebody in an Alice costume, which is pretty cool. And it's very, very personal, right? Hi, Shira here, Alice's web manager. Obviously, I don't know if the web manager probably didn't write this, but if they did, it feels like this is actually somebody that kind of went rogue, right? I'm sneaking out one last email to remind you that we have up to 45% off Alice products, et cetera, et cetera. And then they show an actual picture of somebody in an Alice costume in the email. So whenever you can put in text-based emails, maybe, one every 3 emails, one every 4 emails, it looks like Alice does quite a bit of those. Throw them in, make it feel more personal, make it feel like it's coming from the founder, and make it look real, and it'll make your brand stand out more than the competitors. The second to last brand I wanted to go over is True Classic. I wanted to include this one specifically because I understand it maybe at first glance it could be a little harder to say, oh man, I have like a apparel brand. I mean, what am I going to get value about? It's not like I'm selling a edible product or anything like that I could, show about, healthier fun facts, about health, about wellness. How am I going to show, right? How am I going to get value for an apparel brand? True Classic does a really good job. They obviously do a lot of sales, new flash sales, et cetera, but a lot of their emails as well is just a basic email informing people about how to make a better match with your style, right? In this case, 2026 starts with better basics. On this case, yes, they promoted their products, but they matched it with the holiday. That way it doesn't look like, okay, I'm just promoting my products, just very, very pushy like a salesman. It's like, okay, 2026 with better basics, let me show you some of the combinations you can make in your own style. And then they naturally present their products. They have the comfort you can count on. So they have the shirt, they have the sweaters, and they have some of the different options. Another example is right here, Trending Active Lookbook. If you're like, man, what are some of the new trending products that are happening in 2026? What are people wearing? You could check out the most popular pairings since the start of 2026. This is another great idea if you have not only an apparel brand, but also any other brand. What are some of the new things people are trying out in 2026? And then you could have people actually click here, maybe go to an article, et cetera, et cetera. But you could also just say, hey, 2026 for men, this is the product that's been, the most popular. For women, this is the product that's the most popular. I'll give you one more example that I thought was cool. Another text-based email. Again, not only Alice does that, but also True Classic Tees. What they did is they actually put a whole image of their entire team. And the email's basically just popping in for a little holiday hello. So it's the founder like, hey, just popping in for the holiday hello. This time of the year is all about the basics anyways. Good food, good people, a little bit breathing room, et cetera, et cetera. Your order helped us show for real people who need the essentials most through clothing donations, teacher support, and small acts of kindness. So if you're making like a holiday email for Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, you could also say like, hey, the reason your order, the reason you being part of this brand is so important is because it's helping us not only, insert whatever your main unique selling point is, whether it be giving people more wellness, giving people better style, getting people to enjoy the better and finer things in life, but you also help some of our charitable things. So if you know that, hey, we donate a tree for every order that we get, or if, every 10 cents of profit that comes in, we donate back to charity, anything like that, you could say that in a text-based email. That way it feels more genuine. It feels like it's coming from the founder. And even if people haven't bought, because I think this email is for somebody who has bought, even if they haven't bought, you could still frame it as in, hey, your order matters. It's not just you're caring about yourself, it's caring about other people. Now, the last brand I wanted to go over is Poppi. Now, the great thing about Poppi, they just have great looking emails. They make it look very, very good. A lot of the brands, they want to play it safe. And if you look at a brand like, like Apple, Valuetainment, funny enough, some of the older Chipotle emails, McDonald's emails, some of the older ones that they send out, it looks very, very bland and very corporate. So when you're making your own email, don't hold back. Make sure that every email that is sent out by your own brand is fully embracing the brand, the colors, the way it's coming out. Poppi does an incredible job of doing this, right? They make their emails stand out. It looks like this one looked like a whole Met Gala event, right? If you look at this one, they have different gradients. They make the emails look fun. Let me zoom into this one. They have different fonts at the bottom of the email. They have different colors. Obviously, they have a bunch of different products. They make their emails match the design of the product. So the main thing I wanted to point out in this email is don't hold back in the design. If you know your brand is very bombastic and it's very out there, don't shy back. Get yourself a good designer. Get yourself a good in-house person. Get yourself a good agency and have them make their emails look very, very aligned with your brand, not holding back. Please do not play it safe when you're making your emails. Make sure you fully incorporate the brand, what makes your brand stand out, and you're going to have a lot of success with your own brand.